something really exciting headed in our direction. But I kind of liked it when she did this. Turn the page. You didn't like that? Okay, so I need you to be with me and practice with me. What are we going to do? We're going to turn the page. Oh, pretty good. Do it again. We're going to turn the page. And we're going to turn the page.
It is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
A renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy.
We understand that, though, her main focus is to try to address the root causes of migration. Did somebody decide here that it would not be helpful for her to go to the border and talk to people who just migrated here?
Well, again, I think that at some point she may go to the border. We'll see.
What happens if you don't want to get vaccinated? In some cases, you could be terminated. But if you lose your job because you refuse to get the shot, experts say you likely will not be able to collect unemployment benefits.
This morning, a pandemic policy sending more than 150 Texas nurses and hospital staff packing for refusing mandatory vaccinations.
More than 1 in 4 say they are not planning to get the vaccine ever. 26% of Americans are planning to skip the shot altogether, which is crazy to me.
Is somebody asking the foreign nationals who are walking into Del Rio, Texas, and setting up camps on this side of the border for proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test?
Well, first of all, I can readdress for you or re-talk you through what steps we take.
Policy for people who fly into the country. So if somebody walks into the country right across the river, does somebody ask them to see their vaccination card?
Is the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well-equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban.
The investigation found that a single explosive device killed at least 170 Afghan civilians and 13 U.S. service members by explosively directing ball bearings through a packed crowd and into our men and women at Abbey Gate.
Was it a mistake, Madam Secretary, to downplay this inflation risk? Did that contribute to the problems we're all seeing right now?
Well, look, I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take.
We've all seen the gas prices explode over the past year.
And let me be clear. I can say with absolute certainty, if Russia further invades Ukraine, the United States, together with our allies and partners, will impose significant and unprecedented economic cost.
After days on a razor's edge, Ukraine is now a nation at war. Just hours ago, Russian forces began their attack. President Vladimir Putin warning other countries that any attempt to interfere with the Russian action will lead to, quote, consequences they have never seen.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Tonight, an evacuation order remains in place in East Palestine, Ohio. The town is under a state of emergency after 50 train cars derailed, causing a massive fire a half-mile long, which lit up the night sky and burned for hours. Officials say some of the cars were transporting hazardous materials.
This will be a different kind of war because Hamas is a different kind of enemy. While Israel seeks to minimize civilian casualties, Hamas seeks to maximize civilian casualties.
Breaking news that you started with, Matt, overnight in Baltimore, Maryland. A portion of the Francis Scott Key Bridge has collapsed. You see what happened down into the harbor.
How have you felt the response has been so far?
It's too late. I mean, they took too long. It took them 5 days to get here.
Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
I'm not thinking about voters right now. I'm thinking about lives. To be honest, it's much bigger than anything else, but we're thinking about lives. A lot of lives lost, a lot of people missing, and that's what I'd be focused on right now.
She has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this, I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions.
Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Moore, Laken Ryan, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe those families an apology?
We're going to become the energy capital of the world. We're going to pay down our debt, and we're going to reduce your taxes still further. And your groceries are going to come tumbling down, and your interest rates are going to be tumbling down. And then you're going to go out and you're going to buy a beautiful house. Okay? You're going to buy a beautiful house. That's called the American dream. Thank you. A very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. And as I was saying,
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
Are you clear?